You forgot your password again. Reset email, verification code, new password. Write it down somewhere, then forget where you wrote it. Meanwhile, a squirrel just remembered thousands of food locations it buried months ago. Under snow, under leaves, across an entire forest. Scientists estimate some squirrels can remember up to 10,000 hiding spots. 10,000. Your brain struggles with 3 passwords. So what's going on? Are squirrels secretly geniuses? Do they have super brains? No. Their brains are smaller than a walnut. But they use a memory system your brain was built for. And you don't. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why squirrels win the memory game and how to steal the same system. Because right now, you're using memory completely wrong. Chapter 1. The Memory System. Evolution Built. Most people think memory works like a computer. Store information, retrieve information. Simple, wrong. Your brain isn't a hard drive. It's a navigation machine. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans survived by remembering locations. Water sources, food spots, predator territory, migration routes. Your ancestors didn't memorize passwords. They memorized landscapes. This is why the brain dedicates a massive region, the hippocampus, to spatial memory. Neuroscientist John O'Keefe discovered something shocking in the 1970s. Inside the hippocampus are neurons called place cells. They activate when you enter a specific location. Later researchers discovered grid cells. These cells form a coordinate system, basically. Your brain runs an internal GPS. This is why you can remember the layout of your childhood house 20 years later. Every hallway, every staircase, every room. But here's the problem though. Modern information has no location. Passwords, codes, random facts. Your brain evolved to remember where things are, not abstract symbols. Squirrels understand this instinctively. When they hide food, they aren't remembering nuts. They are remembering places, and that changes everything. Chapter 2. The Squirrel Strategy. Here's what squirrels actually do. They don't bury food in one spot. They scatter it across hundreds or thousands of locations. Scientists call this scatter hoarding. One squirrel might hide food across an entire forest. Sounds chaotic, but their brain builds a map. Landmarks become memory anchors. A tree, a rock, a fallen log, slope of the ground, texture of soil. Every cache gets attached to environmental context. Visual cues, smell cues, spatial orientation, multiple memory layers. Average people memorize information like this. Random fact, random password, random note, floating in empty space. Your brain hates this. No anchors, no structure. Nothing to attach the memory to, so it deletes it. Psychologist Betsy Sparrow at Columbia University demonstrated something similar in 2011. She called it the Google effect. When your brain knows information can be looked up later, it refuses to store it. Why remember when you can search? Your brain becomes lazy. Squirrels don't have Google, so their brain does the job. But here's the interesting part. Humans actually used the same system for thousands of years, and it made memory almost unfair. Chapter 3. The Ancient Memory Weapon. Ancient Greek and Roman orators had a strange ability. They could memorize entire speeches thousands of words long. No notes, no teleprompter, perfect recall. How? They used something called the method of loci, also known as the memory palace. Here's how it works. Take a familiar location, your house, your office, your commute. Now place information inside that environment. Ideas become objects, concepts become images, data becomes scenes. Then you mentally walk through the space. Each location triggers the memory stored there. This works because it activates the same spatial memory system squirrels use. Memory champions use this today. People who memorize thousands of digits of pi, entire decks of cards, long speeches. They aren't smarter. They just exploit the navigation system inside the brain. But here's the problem though. Most people try to memorize information directly. Wrong approach. Your brain resists abstract data, but it loves visual locations. Turn information into images in space, and recall becomes effortless. Quick pause. If you're enjoying this, hit subscribe before you forget. We fix memory leaks here. Now let's go deeper, because the squirrel trick goes further than spatial memory. Chapter 4. Why your brain grows when you navigate. Researchers studying London taxi drivers discovered something fascinating. To earn their license, drivers must memorize 25,000 streets and landmarks. The training process is called the knowledge. It takes years. Brain scans showed something incredible. Taxi drivers developed larger hippocampi than average people. The memory center literally grew. More navigation, more spatial memory, more neural connections. Your brain adapts to how you use it. Squirrels experience something similar. During autumn, when they hide food, their hippocampus actually expands. More neurons, more connections, more memory capacity. Your brain is plastic. It rewires, it upgrades, but only when challenged correctly. Memorizing random lists, weak stimulation. Navigating environments, massive stimulation. Your brain wakes up, which explains another strange fact. You rarely forget where you parked your car in your own driveway, but you forget where you parked in a huge parking lot because the environment lacked unique landmarks. No anchors, no spatial memory triggers. Squirrels avoid this mistake. They create environmental markers, trees, rocks, ground patterns. Your brain can do the same. Chapter 5. How to remember anything using the squirrel method. Let's convert this into a simple system. 3 steps. Step 1. Attach information to locations. Your brain remembers spaces naturally. Use rooms in your house, your daily commute, your office layout. Each location becomes a storage point. Step 2. Turn ideas into ridiculous images. Your brain ignores boring data, but weird images trigger emotion. Emotion strengthens encoding. Example. Password. F7K9L. Boring. Instead, imagine a giant fox smashing 7 keyboards in your kitchen. Absurd, but unforgettable. Your brain locks on to novelty. Step 3. Mentally walk through the environment. Movement activates spatial memory circuits. This reinforces recall. Ancient speakers literally walked through buildings while rehearsing speeches. Squirrels walk through forests retrieving food. Movement strengthens memory. But here's the problem though. Even if you use spatial memory, most people still forget things quickly. Why? Because memory fades. Chapter 6. The forgetting curve problem. In 1885, psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus discovered something brutal, the forgetting curve. Without review, you lose about 50% of new information within a day. Within a week, almost everything disappears. Your brain is a leaky bucket, but elite learners know how to patch the holes. They combine spatial memory with spaced repetition. Review information right before you forget it. Not immediately, not months later. Exactly when recall starts to struggle. This strengthens neural pathways. Medical students use software like Anki for this. Flashcards appear at the precise moment before memory fades. Each retrieval strengthens encoding. Active recall plus spacing, memory locked in. Squirrels accidentally follow a similar process. They revisit food caches periodically, reinforcing location memory. Nature figured out spaced repetition before humans did. Chapter 7. The real lesson from squirrels. Squirrels are not geniuses. They just use the brain correctly. Humans often try to force memory into unnatural formats. Random lists, abstract data, disconnected facts. But your brain evolved for maps, movement, and stories. When you align learning with those systems, memory becomes dramatically easier. Elite learners know this. Memory champions know this. Ancient scholars knew this. Your brain is not bad at remembering. You've just been using the wrong operating system. But here's the final problem. Even if you fix your memory, most people still learn painfully slow. Not because they're stupid, because they focus on the wrong information. They memorize everything instead of the 20% that produces 80% of results. And once you understand that rule, learning becomes almost unfair. That's why I made a video explaining how elite learners identify the crucial 20% of any skill. Watch it next. Your brain will never learn the same way again.